Kareem them. I said, and I told my kids, I said, y'all, it's too many of them. Now I can't fight everybody.
Not everybody in Texas is like that because that'll get you. Don't put that in. Make sure you edit that out. But
No,
when you talk about
it's a brand new dance called the party hottie. She can do it, he can do it, do the party hot. It's something like a dance, but it's called the party hottie. A party ain't a party till you start the party hot. Everybody slide to your left, move back twice, slide to your right, move it up a step.
Welcome to another edition of The Step Exchange. I am Coach B, coming to you loud, live, and in color. All right, as you can see, I am not by myself. As you can see, a lot of different screens around here. Let's introduce ourselves. Well, I know that people already know who we are, but just in case they don't know, let's start with Steppers in Command. Who are you? We already know who you are.
How you doing? So I am my one-liners. Coach Khalik, Steppers in Command, Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York. Come on, Biggie Smalls. All right, we got the famous boys over here, TikTok famous, Instagram famous, YouTube famous, the boys from Houston. What's good?
What's up? What's up? I'm Coach Ryan with the Swag Boys from Houston, Texas.
All right, all right. Then we got the famous everything from Sweetheart Nation, Man of Perfection, This Step Team, Collegiate Step Teteam. Now he's a Phi Beta Sigma fraternity and Kwame. What the brother does everything. Hey, what's good? What's good?
How you doing? How you doing? My name is Malik.
My AirPods.
Right, Malik. And then we got they don't explode. They explode because they explosive. This is my team right here. Coach Randy.
What's up? What's up? I am Coach Randy, the director of The Explosive Grenades.
Come on, The Explosive Grenades. All right. And last but not least, we have Red Storm right here, Coach Red. Well, Red Storm, and he's a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi, all that stuff. I'm just messing.
Yes, as long as you know. So I'm Coach Hyperlight with Red Storm in Houston, Texas.
All right. Well, we got that out the way. Let's jump right into it. This episode today is talking about the one thing that makes the show go round. It's called the score sheets. All right. And the reason why I want to have this conversation about the score sheets is because we all know if you're driving a car, a person can't get behind the wheel who has no idea what they're doing. So if you're driving a car, you have no idea what you're doing, you're going to crash and you're going to hurt everybody around you plus yourself. So I feel the same thing comes with score sheets. Sometimes we sit people behind the score sheet who have no idea what they're talking about and they just writing numbers down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They just writing numbers down. And we like, what in the world? You know what I'm saying? What in the world? But so we're here to discuss it. I needed some people to discuss this with me. All right. We do have Coach Jeff coming in right now. Why he had to be North Carolina to be late, but he's here. What's going on, Coach Jeffrey? How you doing?
Oh my God. I'm trying to rush and get ready.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all good. It's all good. No problem. And that is Coach Jeff from Elements of Class out of the big city of Rayford, North Carolina. The big city of Rayford.
You better have said big city.
The big city. All right. Well, let's get started here. All right. Now, here we go. The score sheet. First, I want to talk about let's go through judges first. What do you feel is a qualified judge? Coach Randy, what's a qualified judge to you?
Experience. Experience is the key. I mean, that's the key. And I just have to say this, it's no shade to my Greeks. I have a lot of alumni.
Ooh, come on now.
And a lot of friends and family members who are Greek. So let me say that much love to the Divine Nine and all Greeks. However, that does not make you a qualified judge. What's your experience? Exactly. What's your background? You know what I'm saying? Have you coached the team? Have you choreographed for a team? Have you been a step master? You know what I'm saying? Do you have that experience? So I think that's the number one key is that do you have experience and how much experience do you have?
No, I understand that a lot because when I did homecoming steps over in college and my brothers, we hop all the time. So one year we actually had to step and I was the hop master and it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life to get the cues to actually step. Like I was just like, I quit. Every day I went home, I said, I ain't stepping no more. I quit. But we did it. But I would never put my LBs or anybody in a seat to judge a show because they did it one time and it's like, hey, now we'll stroll, but strolling and stepping to me is two different things. That's my thing, two different things. All right, Coach Malik, what do you think about that? What do you think is an experienced judge to you?
Honestly, if you've never been on the stage before. Like you said, one show don't really cut it. I need you to have actually choreographed before. I need you to. There's no such thing as having the eye for judging a step show. You need
Exactly.
You need to know what composite like makes together a show. Me personally, I want the judge to have won the show, have lost the show, and everything in between, because then you know what it feels like to be on that stage. You can see from a stepper's point of view what these kids are putting out there, not just, oh, I like this team, so giving it to them, you know, that kind of thing.
I like that. And that need to be on a good application. Have you won a show? Have you lost the show? Because everybody, oh, we won this, we won this, we won this. Wait a minute. What show have you lost? Because it's a different feeling. And it just, hey, I mean, if you haven't lost the show.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, have you lost one? I like that. Come on now. Come on. Come on. All right. So what about you, Swag Boys coach up here? I always like to call you Swag Boys because those are my brothers. This is my boys right there. What about you? What do you feel as an experienced judge?
I would say the same thing. The experienced judge is somebody who has coached and also been on the step team. And I was actually told, I don't know if this was true, but I was actually told that all judges have either had a team or step before.
At what competition?
Well, because I
asked before, I was told, it was like, yeah, all judges have stepped and had a team. So I was just wondering, was that?
Well, maybe it was at that particular show. I'd have been to shows where people, they got off the corner who was just sitting out there dancing to a Nelly song that got out there and was like, I'm judging y'all, so I understand. Coach Khalid.
No, I don't. And that's something that was said prior to what's in the thing, and not. I know. I remember one show. The panel was. I can look at certain people who were just like, why are you having dancers judge step? And it's just like, that doesn't make sense to me. Because even though people want to compare like, oh, step dance, when somebody says that to me, I get highly offended. Because we necessarily as steppers, we don't need the music. We just use the music as entertainment and hype. But qualifications, meaning like, you need to be able to have some type of creative form, either whether you could have danced, but like you really can't say like what is you really like judging based off. So like in certain competitions, I say like it should be designated where you have somebody that if they are a dancer and they are your last resort for them to be there, let them be having, but like, all right, you'll just be focusing on the synchronization,
right?
Or or something of that sort. So that way the other people, then that would just be like, we as people that's like show hosts, we can pretty much have the show in the way where we want it, the judging criteria to be the way we formatted way, and as long as it's related to the coaches.
Right.
But the qualifications for it, I think like I say 5 years, you need to at least have 5 years experience. Because stepping is 5 years experience is because let's speak about everybody starts getting popular and famous within their 5th year of what they do. So I say 5 years experience, and if you don't like that, then I don't know what to tell you.
I was famous year one. What you saying, Malik?
I was saying, with the extent of having 5 year experience, I agree. But that 5 year experience to me, I don't want that to have been back in the 90s, because step is a whole different animal now. So look, if you still the limit of your experience was you stepped for 10 years, but you stopped stepping in 2004. Well, then I'm kind of like, well, hold on, because what you was doing and what's going on now ain't the same thing.
So, you're right.
A judge gave us a 1 on our outro, and everybody else gave us a 10 on the outro. When we was able at that show, we was able to go back into the room and speak to the judges, and they would be like giving us critique or what have you. And she just blatantly, when we asked her, she was like, why did you give us the 1? She was like, because I just didn't like it. And I'm like, what did you not like about it if everybody else gave it a 10? I'm like, because it was like it was at that time, that's when you needed a stunt to win a show. So it was like, we didn't like a stunt. And I'm like, what did you not like about it? And she's like, I just didn't like it. So I had to be escorted out the room. That's why.
No, talk about stunts. I've had a judge tell me on the score sheet, Jeff, you remember it said, y'all should do more stunts and tricks in your show. And I went to her and I said, well, you're going to pay our insurance if one of my heavy kids hit this ground? And, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah. And nevertheless, I blocked her. I blocked her. It's over. All right. So, Swag Boys coach right here. I want to keep saying Swag Boys. What's coach? Tell me your name again.
Coach Ryan.
There you go, Coach Ryan. All right. So you go to a show, all right, and this not talking about anybody's show. You talking anybody's show. You go to a show and you're there. You're at this show and your boys are, killing it. Because I talked about this in the previous episode, and you have a judge that tells you, because you got to tell the story, because people want to know about the story that I said. That's how I'm bringing this up. A judge tells you that your boys shouldn't slow dance; they should leave it for the high school team. Can you explain that? Because that was a lot of DMs I got. People wanted to know, why are you telling the boys not to slow dance? The high school boys do it, and they told Swag Boys, leave it for the high schoolers. So please explain that. There's no shade anybody. I want people to hear about that.
So really, actually, our very first show that was in Dallas. Okay. We always had a judge that says the slow dancing is too much. They say it's too much for elementary. It was like, keep that with high school. And then I had a judge in one show say, keep it in middle school and up. So they just feel like that the elementary level shouldn't be doing the slow dances at all. Crazy, because like every show, but it's only one judge. Only one judge says that, like, oh, y'all should take the slow dance out. Don't let the little kids, they too little to be doing the slow dances.
So are they taking points off for that or no?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what? Is that? Oh no! Yeah. See, it's slow dancing on the score sheet.
That's the thing.
No, right. But they'll take points off for it.
Come on.
And hold on. What area? What area?
I can't remember which area. But then it'll say on there like, take it out, and we have like a 4 or 3.
Oh, okay. So they do put it in the. I mean, if it's not
they put a comment to say, yo.
Coach Malik, what you think about that? How was?
I mean, if you judging any team off of that, like stuff like that, at the end of the day, if it's an anybody show, you should be judging everybody the same way. I mean, if you felt as though it was quality content to put into your show, then that's your business. Like you said, it's not on the score sheet. So that as a coach, I'd be like, so where is this deduction coming from? Like, and now make it make sense to me so I can understand exactly what you're trying to say and why can these teams, that team, all these other people do this, that, and this and that. But just because of the age group, now it's an issue. When, again, not saying names, I've seen elementary girls twerking on stage. What's the difference? So, like, when you're doing it, like, you should be judging everyone.
Wow, batting my eyes like a fool.
But see here, but this is where I have the problem because it shouldn't be off of preference. Judges should be sticking to the judge sheet, not your preferential what you want. It's not about what you want. You judge the show based off of what I give you, and you judge based off that. That's it.
Exactly.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, I feel like the judge panel is usually like, no disrespect to people in their age, but it's people that's like not. You up there in age, you sticking to tradition. Like, girl, if you don't go get your you sticking to that. Like, I honestly, it's the real truth. Like, you really was seeing it. It's like some of y'all look like y'all like go home. The step bro, give it up. You should just be a grandpa, grandma coming to the show. Nothing. You don't need to be judging. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And it's no shade, but it's really the truth. Like, I would rather like Malik he's a Sigma now. So I would be more so wanting to get people that's more hip to what's new and what's going on and fresh. Y'all trying to stick to like, I'm breaking generational curses here. I ain't worrying about you telling me that what's good for a middle school, elementary school team, that the boys shouldn't be slow dancing, but these high school boys is being fertile and God knows what they doing outside of step practice, but it's okay for them to do that.
And on top of that, when you say it was only one judge to say something, that says something about the judging panel itself.
Right. So that means that means their elementary team couldn't do it. So they're jealous of the fact that this elementary team can do it.
And then what's crazy is the boys, they like to do that. Yeah. So they actually that's what they like.
I bet you they love it because all little girls be spraying out there.
And the reason why they do it is the girls. That's the only reason.
It's the girls, yeah.
Have y'all seen Lady Icons when they did Cruella DeVille?
Man.
I want to see that show so live, but I've only seen like a snippet of what he posts.
All right, I'm answering this question. So you're a judge and you're judging on appearance. I'm gonna go around to everyone. Coach Ryan, what would you give them?
For appearance?
1 through 10. And for that Cruella DeVille appearance, what would your appearance be? Your score.
I would give them a 10.
Coach Malik, what would that score be for you?
I'll give him a 10.
Coach Randy, have you seen their picture when they did Cruella de Vil, Lady Icons?
I have
What would your score be in appearance?
a 10.
Okay, we got 3 10s here. Coach, Hype Light, what would your score be?
I'd give him a 1.
A 1.
No, I'm just playing. I would give him a 10. I would
A
give him
10.
a 10.
All right. Coach, Coach
they sell it.
Excel. All right, Coach Khalid. Well, we got 4 10s. Coach Khalid, what would you give them on appearance?
That would be a 10 as well.
Okay, we got one more. Coach Jeff, what would you give them?
A 14.
A 14. Now,
Because I don't want a piece of the chinchilla. Like I
Right,
said, I just want to, I said, oh, but yeah.
all right, so check this out. We went to a show. I was at that show where they
Yes.
wore that. And you think they would get a 10. Why they got lower?
But
What
see,
was their comment?
this is where you begin to see where people begin. You go. It's like almost like judges begin to have these expectations of these teams
Mhm.
in comparison to previous shows or to what
Agreed.
they feel it should
Agreed.
look like. And we're not asking for that. We're asking you to stick to the judge sheet.
Mhm.
We don't care about that extra.
I mean, it was the best uniform in the building. When they walked out with them in the back, I was just like,
Right.
whoa, I was yelling at
Not
you. I
in
was
the
like,
building, was it?
yo, and I was like, and when I found out they scored us on the pin, I was like, y'all look the best in the bit. Like y'all could yeah, so I want to say that. So yeah.
They say what that
When
comment
did they
was.
perform though?
Say, so hold on one sec. What'd you say, Coach Ryan? And then we'll get to Coach Hyde. What'd you say, Coach Ryan?
Did they say what the comment was?
No, they just said it scored low. It could have been a bad comment. Okay.
Somebody asked when they performed. They performed towards the end. Y'all know for some, they was towards the end though.
It was in the beginning.
Oh, you
See,
mean,
and that's the thing. That's the curse, though. That's that. Well, I want to say the curse, but when you perform first, everybody don't give you the actual credit you deserve because they don't. I don't like that too, but they don't give you the actual credit you deserve when you perform first. They want to give you like a lenient thing, and then towards the end, they start giving all these extra points. Don't give them extra points. Give them from the beginning. Judge the show based off of the show.
Yeah, I was like, well, we know they got a 10 in the period. When I finally got a judge them low, because at that show, there's different judges do different things. You got judges who judge precision like that. And when I heard that, I was just like, what? I mean, it's like seeing Sweetheart Nation come to a show and they did Carrie. That whole Carrie outfit, and you put 5 for appearance. Everybody get out. Just go. You know what I'm saying? So, like Swag Boys, y'all uniform was a 10, and somebody give you a 4. What are you looking for there? So,
Right, and actually with that, because we had all the other judges gave us like 10s and 9s, and then one judge gave us that 6, and the comment was could have more style. So
is that same judge the one that said slow down, stop the slow dances?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, I can tell. It's that one.
It was like could have more styles. Like I didn't know what else they wanted with that.
Yeah, I think we need to defund that judge. Defund that. Clearly, defund that judge. All right, we chant on stage. Every team does a chant. Every team throws the daggers. When is it going overboard? When we're chanting on stage and we're talking, when does it go overboard? Anybody can answer that.
I think it's when it's too excessive. Like not every
there you go.
Every call that you do needs to be something shady. Like I think like your first step should be doing it. And trust me, lo and behold, I had to learn that the very hard way because like I have a lot of chants that's like somewhat shady, but it's not necessarily me being shady. That's just me hitting the juggler and just letting it be known this is what we do and this is how we are. But if you constantly keep doing too much of it, it's bad.
And it's where you point. It's how you point. I had a team to literally turn to me when they, turn and look at my team was like, da, 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 you know what I'm saying? So, if you're going to chant, I feel like just chant. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it directly towards, you know what I'm saying? Like, because nobody's stupid. Everybody can see. Because if you turn your head and then your team is pointing literally in the direction of my team, who else is it that you're talking about? You know what I'm saying? I mean, That's just context clues.
Well, hold on,
Again,
was it my team that did that? No, wait a minute.
You know it was your team, Kareem. Them. I said, and I told my kids, I said, y'all, it's too many of them. Now I can't fight everybody. It's too many of them. We got to go home. We got to take this one. It's okay.
I think you should not be. I think you should not make it a personal thing. A chant is about making it known that you are who you are. When you start including names, when you start being disrespectful, you're teaching your kids totally opposite of what are we here for as coaches. So for me, you could talk about it like, you know, your steps ain't you, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. I love the way Chaotic do these chants because it's never deliberately at somebody, but you definitely know they're talking about somebody in the room. Just make sure you got your steps.
We are
right.
target.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Texas does a good. I love the shade that Texas does. Y'all do it.
It's messy.
Y'all do. I love it.
Everybody.
I love it.
That's
everybody.
messy. That's messy.
When I come to Texas, I gotta have something in my back pocket because y'all are ruthless, and I love it.
Everybody.
Not everybody in Texas are like that because that'll get.
Well, we see.
So when you go too far, that'll be a problem because for me,
right?
That I don't want to say that. Don't put that in. Make sure you edit that out. But when you talk about because I've watched like some people I'm close with. I've watched them deliberately include a coach, and it was totally disrespectful. And then that's when emotions get in. Right. That's when kids ready to protect they coach because it's all love. So I believe you can shoot their slugs. You know what I'm saying? Shoot them. Because you have some sloppy steppers. You have all of that. But when you start to say names and you start to target people's life or who they are, that's a problem for me.
Yep. That's why I like the chant that everybody just fell in love with that I've seen it probably. If you must have forgotten who we are, exactly what we do. Like when I literally created that, like, I don't know where I created that. I don't know what platform where my mind was at that day, but that's why I said like we came to put the pressure on all of you. So just it's making it saying like I'm not here to just put the pressure just on because I'm like who I was telling them my girls to really say that to. You're really talking to the judges. You don't worry about no other team that's there because the teams are not the one that's giving you the score to see if you win or not.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I be saying chance, and we be talking about your team. Look at them when you say this on the stage. I don't care how they feel. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. And it was a show that the team threw shots at us first, and it was cool. So the next show, we look right at them, and was like, let's get this battle started. And those boys were like, it's too many of y'all. Well, you shouldn't have said that the last show.
So is there a way to do it? So I guess for me in Texas, it becomes towards where you'll say so much on stage towards then it become a parking lot issue. And I guess watching high school, like dealing with high school and middle school, like we're known for saying certain things that will like target. So where is the line drawn towards where the kids then are not on Instagram, they're not on Twitter, they're not going back and forth and fighting each other because you targeting certain things that they struggle at. Coach
Randy, Coach Ryan, y'all Texas coaches, how do we do that?
Yeah, I'm about to say again, this must be a Texas thing because we don't go for it. Y'all hitting below the belt. Y'all hitting below the belt.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, that's why you're in precision.
Yo, Sweethearts, they do the same thing. And I remember that show in Lakeland. They went in.
Kareem let it go.
So it ain't just a Texas thing because Sweetheart Nations went in at Lakeland. I remember that show. I said, I liked it though. I loved it, but Coach Randy, Coach Ryan, what y'all got to say about that? Because y'all in Texas, because y'all ruthless over there. And I love it, but
I mean, I think it's a line and everybody trying to, figure out what's that line. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with competition. I love competition. Your team get on stage and y'all, you saying you're the best, everybody else isn't, or whatever the case is. Like, I love that it's friendly competition. But once you hit the note, that's not what's up. I'm not with that. And that just, I guess that goes to an individual coach, and their respect for other coaches and other teams. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna make sure my team get on stage and talk a little. They are, you know, but we're not gonna hit below the belt. We're not gonna do that. We just not gonna do that.
No, I like how you said it though. You was like competent. I love that. Right? You had, so I was seeing that. Coach is coming out. All right.
And one thing.
Go ahead.
One more thing.
Go ahead. No,
so
you good?
With that, I will say sometimes too, like the performance aspect of the chant itself will kind of take you to a different realm. Because I said one thing about Steppers in Command, the one thing I had seen them, the attitude they have behind them, it's like it's a general statement, but the way they said it, I'm like, dang, I wasn't even at the show. Like, so like you feel some type of way. So I would say it be down to that attitude too when it comes to the chants.
Put that pressure on all of you. I know that whole chant. Yeah. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. Y'all from Brooklyn. Y'all got it. You won. So Coach Ryan, being that you have elementary school boys, do y'all do that? Because in y'all show, I ain't gonna lie, Swag Boys is known, y'all the good, wholesome church boys right now. So are you gonna ever get to the point where your boys are like, look, son, as I call it?
I don't know, because I don't know. Honestly, I don't know with the chance. I don't be too focused on other teams or what they're doing or watching them to want to come and say something to them on the stage or backstage or nothing like that. And especially like with the chants too, I leave the chants like to them, like to the boys. If they want to chant backstage or something, like I leave that to them. I'm not gonna step up and, you know, as a coach and like lead the chant to be the loudest one. Then when that happens, I feel like that's a problem. But with the chants, I leave that to the kids.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. You already know the biggest show of the year, if it ever happened, is when y'all go against Hype. Everybody talking about that'd be the biggest show of the year when that happens. So when that happened, I'm sending you some chants. Y'all better say these chants to these boys.
we gotta come ready.
Come ready. I love it. But that's gonna be a hot show. That would be whoever gets y'all two at the same show. I don't care how far it is. I'm flying to see that because you don't see too many. You don't see any elementary school boy teams going like that. So that's gonna be something for the books right there. I'm gonna be right there front and center with my phone.
And both teams are good, so it's even.
Yeah. It's even. All right, so we got this. So there's a line that's crossed. Coach Shirley, did you say something about that already? A line that's crossed. I want to leave you out.
Oh yeah, like a line that's really. I take that as like if a line that is crossed, that's more so coach's problem, because more than likely like the coach knows more insight about another team than the actual member. So it's like you have a vendetta against one particular team, like now it's like you're showing, like reflecting on every other team that might be taking that as disrespect. So it's like instead of you just trying to stir your little pan right here with this particular team, now you adding more fuel to your fire and you're having a problem with every other team because the perception of you is going to come out, oh, you so shady, you're unapproachable, we can't talk to you, blase. And it's just like, if you understand competition, then you understand competition, but if you don't, then I understand.
No, you're fine. So should we not tell the Steppers a particular team we're talking about here, or we just say this is in general for everybody? Because that could be what Coach Hype was talking about down here. He said, you talk about the stuff they're struggling with. So you got, yes, your team did this and y'all can't even put a full arm out. If you go to a show, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I come to Texas and I go against explosive grenades and they talking about what X Factor, your precision is this. Oh, I'm reading y'all. I'm reading it because you know our precision is the best. So I said, all right, well, get them girls. All right. So, so get them, so but I guess that's just the nature of it. So should we not tell them who we're talking about, or should we just be general, or should we tell them who we're talking about to keep competitiveness? I don't know.
No, I personally, I don't. I would just always say this is just a general statement, because if they and I would say like any other team that you're going to be like Cinderella. If the shoe fit, wear it. If you take something,
there you go.
If you take it, I can't tell you how you perceived it. That's what I felt at the time. Any other rapper, like let's say like a rapper when they write, but they put in their pen to work and they just say stuff off the dome and it sounds good to them. It's like, oh, this is how this is gonna catch attention. That's just all it is. If you feel some type of way about it, I'm not necessarily talking about you, but you took it that way. So that's not a me problem, that's a you problem.
All right. So coming from coaches, have you ever felt threatened at a show, intense, like you go into a show, not saying somebody gonna beat you up or something, but you go to a show and you just felt uneasy because everybody in there, you just like, yo, I know this is gonna be something, I got to stay away from everybody. Has anybody ever felt like that before?
Yeah, in my hometown, in North Carolina, especially when you are the eyeball of the step world, like as far as me, I can speak on me when I first came in. I guess like I was supposed to first came in and started losing. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I supposed to came in, I guess, in a humbling way, I guess. And when I first came out, again, like my first year, it took like show number 10 for me to get second place. So the whole entire every show, I would walk in, my girls, I get eyes rolled. And I'm like, girl, I don't even know you. But you know what I'm saying? But that's just how. So yeah, I definitely agree.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody else been to a show?
That's especially up here, like in Brooklyn more so. Like you just feel, and the minute people see us walk through the doors, it's like. But I don't understand like how y'all be feeling some type of way. But again, like I say, like I've heard it before at a particular show. Like literally, like a lady didn't even know that I was the coach because I wasn't wearing anything paraphernalia. And she literally said, she's like, I'm sick of this team. They always winning. And I turned to her and I was like, and they're gonna continue to keep winning. And I talk about my girls again and see what happened.
Oh. I mean, you already look 12, so they probably thought you were on the team.
Exactly. So
okay, I think that. So, Coach Ryan, do you think the steppers take from the coaches the energy that we give? Do you think they take their cue from us?
I do. I think so. I do. But when my kids, they so little and they still kind of new to this, they be just kind of looking like, okay, what's going on? They don't really know too much yet.
Right. Okay, Coach Randy, what about you? And I did not get down to Coach Hype. What about you, Corey? Do you think they take from us?
Oh, definitely. But I'll say that if you have your kids, if they're disciplined to you, if that makes sense, yes, they're gonna take to you. Whatever you do, they're gonna do. You know, whatever energy you give, they're gonna get that same energy.
All right, I like that. I like that. Coach Hype, what about you? We're calling you Coach Hype. That's what it says right there.
I appreciate that. So yeah, that I believe that's the key. Like what energy you bring as a coach is the energy your kids, if you train them correctly, is the energy that they will bring into whatever they're coming into. So that's why it's like you have to really guard your mouth, guard your tongue on what you say, how you say it. When you when you're chants, if you're gonna chant, if you just say it, we're saying this to everybody, then they won't take on that mentality of I don't like that team. That's why for me, when I coach, it's more like we're targeting teams. We're not worried about these other teams that we know we're going to be facing. It's what can we make that perfect score? If we don't make the perfect score, we fail. So as a team, it's not about first place. It's what does your score say?
Right.
Yeah.
That was good. All right. That was deep. Okay. All right, Frederick Douglass. That was good.
Come on, man.
All right.